Welcome to our Sunday celebration service. I'm Reverend Valorie Gunsch, and I'm glad to see you here today. And we'd like to welcome those of you who are online with us as well on this Sunday in January, where it's reminding us that it is really, truly winter, right? So today, is there anyone new here so far that we know of? If so, we would love to welcome you and give you a connect card so that we can connect with you. And if you're online, give us a shout out. And so let us pause now at this time for an opening prayer. So right here and right now, we take a breath. We center ourselves in this present moment. In this present moment of coming together as spiritual community, as love and peace and support of one another and of our world. We allow that spirit of community to emerge from us as we remember the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. and the civil rights movement and all of those who have gone before to make this a more equitable, just world. And so we stand for those values of equity, inclusivity, and of peace. And as we come together, we call forth that which is within us, that guides us on what is ours to do, to be a light, to shed a little light in this world, and to carry on the legacy of Martin Luther King, the legacy of service and the legacy of community, beloved community. We're grateful for his light. We're grateful that we can carry on that light, and we are choosing to do so by showing up. So right here and right now, we hold each other, we hold our Richmond community, our new governor and lieutenant governor, and all of the new administration. We hold them in our prayers for wisdom and understanding and love and guidance on doing what is highest and best for the people. And we pray for that for our country as well, for our leaders, that they may embrace and connect with the inner wisdom and the love and the consciousness that brings about the world that we want to see. A world that works for all, a world of peace. And for these things and this truth of the one presence and the one power that is moving in and through all these things, we are grateful to have that knowledge. We also hold it in prayer right now in our own community, Penelope and Paul, as they recover from the house fire that took place last week. And so we offer our love, our support, and our prayer support, and our hands and our hearts where we see a need. We answer. And for this ability to be a blessing, we are grateful. And so it is. So it is. Amen. So let us say our statement of truth together. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotence. Our service leader today is Barbara Hess, and she's going to share with us now the Daily Word message.
Morning. And the word to, excuse me, I have a little bit of a tickle in my throat. The word for today is world peace. As I affirm peace, I help create a peaceful world. In 1964, Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. said, "It is not enough to say, we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. We must concentrate not merely on the negative expulsion of war, but the positive affirmation of peace. Of course, I will work towards creating the kind of world I wish to see, investing my effort and energy to end conflict, discrimination, and other kinds of negativity. But I also put my energy into creating harmony, cooperation, opportunity, and other positive outcomes. Today I affirm that peace is dawning all over the world, blessing all people with warm feelings of cooperation and togetherness. I affirm peace is here, even as I strive to create it." And the Bible scripture, 1 Thessalonians 5:23, "May the God of peace himself sanctify you entirely, and may your spirit and soul and body be kept sound." May your spirit, soul, and body be kept sound. And together let's claim our affirmation. I affirm peace. I help create a peaceful world. And so it is.
Please stand and join us. I'd like to teach the world to sing. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. That's the song I hear. Let the world sing today, a song of peace that echoes on and never goes away. Put your hand in my hand, let's begin today. Put your hand in my hand, help me find the way. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land.
And so now it's time for opportunities. And one thing, I was talking with someone before the church service about peace and our beingness of giving. And so I know with the message that Valerie's given today, wouldn't it be amazing if throughout this time you reflect on all the things that you have given and the lights that go with that, and you think of other people that are equally giving? Because, you know, when you walk into a room that's dark It just takes one light to light that whole room. So while Valerie's talking today with her wonderful message, imagine, just as we were singing, all of the lights, all of the hands, all of the beingness that's spreading throughout the world. And we're going to begin our opportunities with Valorie coming up to give us a wonderful opportunity for the church.
I just want to remind you again that our nominating team, which consists of Reverend Robin Moore, Junius Dandridge, myself, and Mary Beth Holzman, are at work searching, inviting candidates for service on our Unity Board. So I would like you to consider, speaking of that light and ways to give, what unity has meant to you, and where it's been before, and what our future may be like in 10 years. What might our legacy be? And how can I serve in unity moving forward into that vision and us living our mission or vision of transforming lives, transforming the world? So we want to invite you to consider prayerfully. Those of you who have been here, you know you've been a member. You've been here for enough time to know our community, and you may have served before. But again, keep in mind this is a new time, this is a new day, and so this will be a new unity of Richmond. So we just invite you to make that discernment. And again, if you feel called and you haven't heard from any of us by personal invitation yet, come to us and let us know. We have an application, we have some training videos, we have some information that can help you feel empowered and equipped to be of service for the board. So I want to thank you for that discernment. Okay. There's also one other thing that I wanted to mention and follow up with, because when we did our Whitestone ceremony a couple of weeks ago, we got a sacred word, an intention that would serve us to focus on for the coming year. And I said to any of you, if you would like to share an intention and invite our community to hold you up in prayer with that to let me know. I also talked about how Barbara Hess had done that very thing. A couple of years ago, she stood up here on one of those Sundays in the new year and stated her intention to deepen her spiritual practice, to have more yoga training and become an advanced teacher. And she is a living example of the embodiment of that, setting the intention and manifesting that reality. So today, I would like to invite Heather Oram up, who would like to share with you before we go into the next announcement.
Good morning. This is a coming out story of sorts, not in the way you might think. Maybe, I don't know. So I have only 3 minutes, so I'm going to make it quick. I identify as neurospicy. And this year, the word that came to me was unmask. Oftentimes, and perhaps this resonates even with the neurotypical folks in the room, we put on a mask, and it's not a bad thing. It's just how we show up in the world. But yet, that's very exhausting to try to fit in. And so what came to me was, what if I unmasked? What would that look like? What if I leaned into my beautiful brain and how it shows up, and my quirks, and what if I leaned into all the things that want to express itself the way I was created in God's image, right? So what happens if I unmask? Well, I'll tell you what happens. You lose your job, but you manifest 1 in 3 hours because of a network thing. But anyway, So I am moving into a season of raw, authentic, neurospicy showing up in the world. And I ask you to lift me up in releasing any weird feelings about that. Maybe some shame, how I have been present in prior jobs that might have not been a great fit. So releasing any shame with that, right? And as I'm moving into this new season, just really holding me up into just a loving space, however I'm showing up. So I'm embracing my weirdo, man. Like, here I am, but this is who I am. Capricorns unite. My birthday was on the 10th. Whoop, whoop. And because I know the heart of who I am is love, right? And I know that everything I do is with that loving intention. And so, how are you showing up? Do you have a mask on? I invite you to unmask with me this year. And let that beautiful, loving source light just shine on through, and don't be afraid, because you are going to be guided to exactly where you need to be that love that we need. So my prayers for me, and my prayers for us, that we just live in our own authentic, genuine nature. So thank you for unmasking with me, and I look forward to a more balanced existence. And I appreciate your understanding if I might come off a little bit strange some days. But that's just who I am. And I don't apologize for that anymore. So, thank you.
How wonderful that we have a community that supports everything we do in such a unique way. And so I'm going to continue with the opportunities. Our own Petra is offering a chair yoga class. It's going to be moved until February the 8th because of some conflicting other programs. But if you would please join her February 8th at 12:30 right after the service, then she's going to lead you in some chair yoga. And then she's going to continue to offer this on a love offering basis. And the main reason she moved the date is because if Laurie and Bob could stand up, we're honoring our own Laurie and Bob Schumerhorn. They have been loving members of this community. He has given us so much with his photography, and Laurie has given us so much with her skills and authentic heart, and both of them together have been and will continue to be part of this community. But they're going to be serving us from Hawaii. So they are moving to Hawaii. They will be leaving very soon. So please come January 25th so we can honor them, celebrate with them, help kick them onto their plane so they can have fun in Hawaii, but still be part of this community because we're a church without walls. So we can go to Hawaii with them. So thank you. And there's a sign-up sheet that will be out in the hallway, and Casey's going to actually be passing it around now. If you'd like to sign up to make sure that we know that you're coming, and sign up for something very delicious that we can all share together. Then on January 25th at 11 a.m., we have a wonderful speaker coming, Ashley Coleman. She's speaking on the Mystic's Path, Remembering God Through Direct Experience. She is an ordained shamanic minister. She does shamanic energy medicine, and she is a practitioner with addiction recovery and the creator of the Mystic's Path interfaith community. So she's got a lot to offer. So please join us on January 25th so you can have this experience with our very own Ashley Coleman. And another great opportunity, Unity is based on prayer. We have a 24-hour prayer line that's been going on for over 100 years. How amazing. And it's in the center of this country. Now, go figure, okay? It is pulsing. It is pulsing the energy of affirmative prayer throughout every state. And so here at the church, we have prayer chaplains, and the prayer chaplains are trained. They hold your prayer in confidence. They hold this whole community in prayer. And so Valerie's going to be leading 2 opportunities for everyone to have a deeper experience of understanding affirmative prayer. There's layers and layers and layers to it. So if you think you've got it, it never hurts to come together with a group of people and affirm your affirmative prayer. It's going to be February 3rd and the 10th. If you are planning to become a prayer practitioner, you can talk to Carol Lapierre, but you do need to attend these 2 so that she can support you with affirmative prayer. And Casey's going to be handing another handout around so you can sign up for this. It is on a love offering basis. You do not need to become a prayer chaplain to attend. But if you want to be a prayer chaplain, you do need to attend. And then we have another great opportunity. Every year we do what we call gala events, and one of them got extended to the beginning of this year. Our very own Vicki and Armand are going to be having a gala called Pray, Eat, and Meditate Gala. It is going to be February 7th at 5 o'clock here at the church. It will begin at 5 with a light Mediterranean fare, and then I believe we're planning on having some singing bowls, and I think she mentioned we might do some drumming, so there'll be an opportunity to have some expression in the sound bowl and meditation and musical arts afterwards, so that's a great opportunity too. Another way we're manifesting this year is the opportunity for us to have some fundraisers. This is going to be a fundraiser for Panera Bread called Raise Some Dough. It's going to be February the 8th. So February 8th also happens to be Super Bowl Sunday. We are aware of that. You can go to Pomero and eat in from 4 to 8, but they also gave us the opportunity that you can order it online. There are some flyers out in the vestibule that you'll have to pick up because there's a code that you have to put on if you go online, and it's called Fund for You. You'll put that into your own line, and then the money will come to Unity. That can happen anytime during the day, but if you're going to go in person, it does need to be between 4 and 8. So this is the Panero at Willow Lawn. So don't go to just any of them. All of us can show up at Willow Lawn. It's not too far from here. Okay, so that's another great opportunity for us to all support the church financially. And now we'll continue. Thank you.
Good morning, beloveds. Come with me, and you'll be. You all deserve better than that. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of your creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. You'll be find in your mind there's a world of endless fascination, no more fun place to be than in your imagination. You can dream any dream, you can savor every situation. Life in there's a sensational sensation. If you want to see magic lands, close your eyes and you will see one. Wanna be a dreamer, be one. Anytime you please, and please save me one. There is no place to go to compare with your imagination. So go there to be free if you truly wish to be.
Are we twins? Thank you, Katrina. Thank you. So today is the day before Martin Luther King Day, which is tomorrow. Not just a day off, but a day to honor the legacy and carry forward his legacy. I wanted to point out to you that I have this work of art here by musician and artist Forrest Young, where he drew in pen and ink, this is a print, of Martin Luther King at the mall in the 60s when he gave his address, I Have a Dream. And this pen and ink is very, very unique in that how it is created was out of the lyrics of James Taylor's song, Shed a Little Light. So when you look up close at this, all of the pen and ink there are made out of letters. It's quite amazing and quite ingenious, this way of doing the art. So it contains the lyrics from James Taylor, let us turn our thoughts today to Martin Luther King and recognize that there are ties between us, all men and women living on the earth, ties of hope and love, sister and brotherhood, that we are bound together in our desire to see the world become a place in which our children can grow free and strong. We are bound together by the task that stands before us and the road that lies ahead. We are bound. But anyway, it's amazing that that is made out of all those letters and lyrics from James Taylor. He did actually get permission from James Taylor for using his song as that piece of art. So we have a video today that Unity put out for Martin Luther King. It's a short one that I would like for us to view, and we'll let our AV pull that up now.
At Unity, when we look at the civil rights movement of the 1960s and how it was successful, we're talking about a foundation of love, practical Christianity. Martin Luther King said, we cannot destroy hate with hate. By returning hate with hate, hate multiplies. So love is the only thing that can cancel out hate. Martin Luther King believed that in order to change the system, one needed to live from a humble and loving spirit. In unity, we believe that we can indeed live from love, a Christ consciousness exemplified by Jesus. That is what unity was founded upon. That is what Martin Luther King taught in his spiritual movement, the civil rights movement of the 1960s.
A spiritual movement, foundation of love. So I just wanted to give you just a little bit of opportunities then to share with you that you can participate in tomorrow. In our newsletter, we shared the links to things that are happening in the Richmond community, including some prayer vigils, some activism, and one such activity is organized by the Adam Turk Memorial Foundation, which was a friend of Katrina's and the theater community, who was killed by gun violence when he was trying to intervene and with a woman who was being threatened by her partner. And so they sent an announcement out that we could support Monday, January 19th, marking the 34th Vigil and Advocacy Day to Prevent Gun Violence, that is hosted by the Virginia Center for Public Safety. It's a day to speak directly with members of the Virginia General Assembly about the bills they'll be voting on, and an opportunity to honor the lives of Virginians lost to gun violence. Come stand in strength and solidarity with your community and demand action from your lawmakers. If you do things like this, then we will carry on that light and that legacy, do them from a place of love and peace. And that light will continue. It does continue to burn, and we will continue to shed a little light ourselves. So, thank you. So, one spirit, many lenses, humanity's evolving view of God or the divine. Today I'm going to share with you about this evolution of consciousness. So this one presence and one power that we talk about every week when we make our statement of truth is that is how we describe the divine, that's how we describe God, principle, spirit, and yet humanity doesn't see it all from the same perspective, right? There are so many different religions, spiritual organizations and paths, and they are all different perspectives. And so we experience the divine through those many lenses, and those lenses include the mystical experience, the personal, the scientific, even the skeptical. But none of these perspectives are really accidental. What they are reflecting our human consciousness and the evolution of it, the ongoing evolution. So today we're going to explore how our consciousness of the divine, or our experience and relationship with the divine, has evolved and changed over time. It happens within our own personal life, and it has happened throughout the history of humanity. And one of the beautiful ways that is mapped out is in spiral dynamics theory. This helps us understand the viewpoints, but not see them as right or wrong. It helps us see it as an unfolding of awareness and understanding. And so as we'll look through this spiral dynamics theory and also through integral theory, which Ken Wilber developed as a deepening of spiral dynamics. And these theories will help us see how consciousness evolves and how our perception of spirit evolves. And when we can understand these stages of awareness, we gain compassion for ourselves, for others, and for a world that is still becoming. It's still emerging as the world that we want to see. You know, there's still a gap, isn't there, between the peace we want to see, the love, the inclusivity, and the, all of those wonderful qualities of the world that we envision. So spiral dynamics theory was started by a psychologist named Claire Graves, a psychology professor, and then one of his students, Don Beck, developed it even further. He developed it to the point where governmental organizations were using these principles of spiral dynamics to negotiate in countries where there were wars with each other that were still in, like, say, tribal consciousness, and to resolve world conflicts. It was further developed by Ken Wilber, and Ken Wilber's going to be, I'm so excited, one of the guest presenters in the class that I'm taking with Integral Ministry with Gary and Jane Simmons. Anyway, so this spiritual lens of spiral dynamics helps us to understand this unfolding. So let's have a look. I have a little diagram here, which I know you can't see all the details. That's okay. You can see the colors, though, right? And I'm going to talk a little bit about these little areas of the spiral, the colors, and the memes, or the major ways of thinking that each level of consciousness comes from. And for your information, this is also a concept that there is what's called first tier spiral dynamics, which is the beige color all the way up to that green color you see. And second tier are the top two colors, the yellow and the teal, or otherwise called turquoise. The top or second tier have not yet taken hold. They are what is emerging next in the evolution of consciousness. These are unknowns in a lot of ways, but we can adapt, or we can adopt the thinking of second tier, and that's the goal, because second tier sees the value in all the other perspectives and ways of life, and is a holistic way of thinking. So I wanted to share with you just a little concept of what spiral dynamics is in definitions, so you can see here that spiral dynamics is a way to see the world. Let's see if I can read it. Spiral dynamics is a framework for understanding how human values and worldviews evolve over time, both in individuals and in societies, in response to life conditions. So the growth comes when there is something that's a little chaotic or something that is a conflict, and that's how we evolve. And then spiral dynamics from a spiritual perspective is a way of understanding our unfolding of human consciousness and how our awareness of God, of self, and of life evolves. And as we meet these new experiences and challenges in this human experience, and the opportunities of the spiritual growth that emerge from that. Now, each stage of development of spiral dynamics, each one reflects a distinct way of seeing the world. It emerges each stage to solve problems of a condition. And again, remembering that one is not better than the other. One is not better or worse, but each one becomes more complex, less black and white, more inclusive as you go along. It does evolve in that inclusivity. And also, you transcend and include the lessons of each level of consciousness. Each one has a healthy expression, each one has a shadow expression. And so we include the healthy expressions and values, and we want to transcend the unhealthy. And that's how our evolution happens. So each stage of development is considered or named a meme, and a meme is a dominant way of understanding the life, our power, our truth, God and community. And these colors that you saw on the spiral that started with beige at the bottom and then purple. Each of those colors represents a time frame in history. So beige was the Cro-Magnon, emergence of Cro-Magnon. And that one we're not going to talk about. It was instinctual, it was survival, and there was no concept of the divine. That's over 100,000 years and earlier in time. Then emerged the tribal societies. The tribal societies and the magical is the sense of of the purple. Mythical. The worldview is that life is governed by the spirits and the ancestors. Ritual is very important. And the image of God is as a tribal deity or ancestral spirits. The healthy qualities of that are superstition, the unhealthy is superstition and fear of outsiders, and fear of punishment. And the healthy is that sense of community and belonging, kindred, shared identity, kind of a connection with the earth. And anyway, so that shadow expression was brought out through human sacrifice and animal sacrifice in the historical context, 50,000 years ago to about 3,000 BCE. So perhaps, though, when you consider the practices of the indigenous people, they have brought forward the best of those qualities of that expression. And because, even if you look in your own life and reflect on that, you may see where ritual has meaning for you. So that's part of, that is part of a purple consciousness. We each have each of these within our own consciousness and bring them with us. Then emerged the red period of time, which started about 3000 BCE to 1000 BCE. It's the warrior consciousness. It's about power. It's about might. Might makes right. The concept is that life is a jungle. We must dominate or be dominated. It values power. It values strength. It values immediacy, honor, and loyalty. And in the image of God, it is considered as a God that conquers or grants victory. Now, when you read stories in the Hebrew scriptures, those stories are written about the people of this time frame. And the healthy expression, which we all need and like to have, is courage, leadership, vitality. And then the shadow expression is violence, narcissism, and tyranny. Now, certainly you could observe how this shadow of this consciousness is currently being played out in our world and in our country and in the administration right now, right? I told you last week that perhaps we could put some things into context through spiral dynamics, and this is one. So the values of the red, are clashing with the values of other values that I'm about to share with you going forward. Now then comes the blue. I'm not going to go through all the detail here because I don't want it to be a complete head experience, but I'm going to share with you some of the highlights. If you would like the PowerPoint and to know more, I will share that PowerPoint with you. For some reason, there we go. Blue is law and order. So the scriptures, in the Hebrew scriptures where it talks about the kings and the judges, the monarchy and that sort of thing, that's the blue consciousness emerging from about 1000 BC all the way to 1700s AD. That time frame. So the values are truth, obedience, discipline, righteousness. The authority is the law and scripture and institutions. The image of God is a just, moral lawgiver. A healthy expression is to have stability, ethics, and purpose. So this is, think about it also in terms of religion, and how religion sometimes in this consciousness can serve as that stability in people's lives and purpose, right? Now the shadow expression is dogmatism and rigidity and guilt. There's only one true way. That's the meme. So shadow sides of this being played out: the slave trade, the holy wars, the Puritan witch trials, and the like. Now, in terms of our own experience, you may think about fundamentalist religions or traditional religions as many of us have grown up. Did you experience that shadow side of this consciousness, the dogma, the rigidity, the guilt, and that experience? Because many of us have wounds from that type of religion. Then emerged the orange, which is the time of rational scientific discovery and inventions, the Industrial Revolution, the 1700s to the 1900s, kind of this conflict between religion versus science, science, in that sense, polarities. So the image of God in this time frame, or this consciousness, is that God is it's a deist, God is principle, and God is maybe the creator or a creator, but does no outside intervention or supernatural intervention. So healthy expressions are innovation, prosperity, problem solving. And the shadow, of course, is materialism, burnout, exploitation. So you can think throughout history how people have been exploited for materialism, even currently and now, right? And so forth. And then we come to the green, which is the top edge of the first tier. Green is egalitarian. It's focused on harmony. What we just sang about today, I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. So a lot of us in Unity and New Thought are in that green consciousness. Our co-founders, the Fillmores, were ahead of their time with the emergence of what they were teaching and of this consciousness, because they were certainly before the 60s. They were the late 1800s into the early 1900s. And that was the edge. That was still emerging back then. And then it came forth during the 60s to the present. It's still present with us. The emergence of this consciousness and the worldview is that, everybody's perspective matters. It's values equality and inclusion and compassion and harmony. And consensus is the authority, shared values, community. So in the image for God in this is that loving, inclusive, eminent presence. I need to forward, don't I? Here we go. From orange to green. All right. The loving, inclusive presence. The shadow side is that the green, though we claim inclusivity and embracing all, we think we're the best one. We think we're the best one because we are so inclusive of all perspective and so forth. But then it becomes, the shadow. It becomes, we become morally righteous as we, see ourselves. Okay, so we do. We keep that healthy expression. We transcend that, or we include that, and then we transcend the other part. Okay. So the focus of integral ministry is in the second tier, as I mentioned. A second tier which includes yellow and turquoise or teal. Now, I am not going to go into these in detail, but just suffice it to say that these two things are just beginning to emerge in our society and consciousness and take hold. That, the yellow started emerging the late 20th century to the present. So our lives are dynamic. Life is complex. We are interconnected. And God is, in this consciousness, is considered flow, intelligence, evolving consciousness. So we want to, sort of think into second tier, because second tier consciousness can contain polarities, because we know that we need inhale and we need exhale. We know we need rest and we need activity. We know we need structure, and we also need flexibility to allow things to emerge into the next expression of spirit in the whole system. So the keys that I would like you to remember about these levels of consciousness are that people and cultures contain and inhabit multiple stages at once. We're not really going into meditation, right? They contain and inhabit these. So you might look in aspects of your life and your spiritual practice. Perhaps you have a little bit of the purple. Perhaps you have a little bit of the orange. And maybe a lot more of the green. But anyway, we also move and grow in a spiral. We expand in depth and awareness and complexity as we evolve. It's not black and white as we evolve. It becomes more inclusive of multiple worldviews. And the spiral mirrors our soul's awakening to that one presence and that one power. So regardless of what your religious path are or spiritual perspective is, we can discover what Ken Wilber developed in integral theory is that there are three faces to the divine. There are three faces, or you could say perspectives, from which we relate with spirit or the divine. And those perspectives are third person, second person, and first person. And it's just the way our language is. Third person is, it is. Second person is, you are. And first person is, I am. So we can relate in any one of these or contain all of them. And usually in our spiritual evolution or practice, we are, express one more than the other in times, because many of us have been brought up in the traditional religions where it's second person. It's the relational, the I-thou experience. But let's look at the third person. That spirit is experienced through nature, through the web of life, interconnectedness. This is a purple quality, by the way, on the spiral. Through the awe that we feel when we gaze at the stars at night or the pictures of the cosmos. Now, our co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore, described her own experience as third person. She said, I was almost accused of being a nature worshiper when I was a little girl. Nature is surely the face of God. See the beauty about you, and you see the manifestation of God in infinite mind. And these are her words. I think they're found in the James Dillett Freeman book about the history of unity. So this is the experience of spirit through the third person. People who have a dominant experience in this relationship are typically people who just spend a lot of time out in nature. Nature is their church, right? Now, for me, I had a very profound third-person experience when I did a vision quest for 10 days in the mountains of southern Utah in my mid-20s, it was. And within that 10 days, I really connected with the rhythms of the earth. And I felt the oneness and the connection with the pulse, really, of the vibration of the earth and the universe. And it changed my life forever, having that experience. But it was very foreign from what I was grown up experiencing. Now, some of the ways that we experience the divine are through our songs and music in our worship and in our services. We sing songs that describe this experience, such as songs that are like, "We are all one in the infinite Son. We are all one in the infinite Son. We are all one in the infinite Son, forever and ever and ever." Or, "We walk with beauty all around us, as we walk the beauty way." That's the Navajo chant. And so again, purple is experiences the divine, is contained within this. Now let's move to second person. That's the most common in most of our religions, most of the Abrahamic religions, is the second person. We experience spirit or God as relational through a devotional path, through prayer and praise, through worship and chanting. And we see spirit as a companion, a guide, as the beloved. Now, there's many examples of Rumi quotes where his conversations with the beloved are very prevalent when you read Rumi. Ken Wilber said this about this perspective. He said, "I and other, the relational, can range anywhere from a mythic man in the sky, old man in the sky, to the simple intuition that we all exist within the great mystery of some supreme being by many names." So you are familiar, I'm sure, with praise and worship music, and why that is so moving for people to experience and embody that relationship through praise and worship. Now, one of the songs that came to mind is Josh Groban's, "You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be." Ooh, that's low for me. But you feel that connection and you feel that relationship, through music and with those songs. Other forms could be singing and chanting Om Namah Shivaya, because that chant is honoring the divine teacher within, that capital S self, the spirit, capital S spirit, in a relational way, a devotional way. Let's move to the first person. In first person, we experience God or spirit as I am. It's a mystical revelation. It's that consciousness that's found in the chapters of John in the New Testament. The I am statements. I am the way, the truth, and the light. I am the vine. I am. And then Jesus said things like, "I and the Father are one," right? So the prayer and meditation, the reason we meditate is so that we can remember who we are and we can connect with that oneness, that divine one. And one of the things that comes to my mind, the words of Patanjali, whose song or words are chanted, "I am the light of the soul, I am bountiful, I am beautiful, I am, I am." That's from the first person. That's where we feel that I am, or connect with that I am as being in and as us and ever present within. Perhaps you yourself have experienced this sense of oneness and connection. Perhaps you've experienced the second person, the relational, or the nature, or all three. Now, in my own journey through these stages of my development, in spirit, from the traditional religion I was growing up on to the mystical, I did find a profound well-being in being able to bring all of these perspectives together within my practice, my spiritual practice. So most Western religions emphasize this second person, as you probably can see with the practices, and as I said, the Abrahamic religions. And in that case, they may leave out that mysticism or that inner realization. If you over-focus on one to the exclusion of the other, then you'll leave out part of the whole. So, once again, there is no better or better than another, but there is a more complete way to express the divine in wholeness. So I just invite you to reflect. Do you experience spirit in nature and beauty? In what ways do you do that? That's third person. Do you experience the divine in prayer and relationship? That's second person. Do you experience the divine in the silence or that inner knowing? That's first person. So to be well-rounded, we want to include all three. So in conclusion, friends, the spirit does not change. Spirit is immutable, unchangeable. But our understanding of spirit does evolve. Our human consciousness unfolds in stages, and each one meets, each of those stages, a specific need of where we are in our lives at that time. And each one reveals spirit in a certain way, in a new way. So as we grow, we transcend the shadow, we include the gifts with us, and move forward into the next level of the spiral. And we want to integrate every level and include every level. And this is our spiral of awakening. This is how our lenses of how spirit has evolved as a humanity. So let us be early adopters of second-tier thinking that includes all of the best of all of those levels, and that is ever expanding into that level of just experiencing the interconnectedness of all of life, of an inclusive worldview that leaves no one out. So let us adopt a yes and attitude, a both and attitude, and that's how we can be the change we want to be. That's how we can be transformed lives, transforming the world. And so it is.
What a beautiful process that Valorie just took us through. Knowing that we are multidimensional. Our world is multidimensional. We are multidimensional. And in that we can have the experience. Paul Hasselbeck, who was a great unity minister, always said that we are the point of power. Wherever you are in your life, wherever you are in your thinking, where you are in your actions and being, you are at the point of oneness. And you can be the best Christ you can be in any moment. So allowing yourself now to go to that first person, to have that inward experience. That's what the Fillmores taught us. That's what Silent Unity teaches. We pray in relationship. And then we become still. We become still and know that I am. I am is ever present. It is your point of power. When we allow ourselves to settle, it's a settling. It's not a changing, it's not a thinking, it's just settling. Settling inside to that vast ocean of consciousness. We can imagine, as we often do, the ocean, with the waves being all of the different actions we do, our personality, the roles we play. But that I am is in the waves. It's in the depth. It's in the horizon. It's in the vastness that goes beyond even the ocean. And just as sometimes when you come home from work, you might settle in with a hot cup of tea, or it might be that you go out and embrace nature. Or you might float and imagine yourself floating in that sea, that ocean of consciousness. It's all the I am. And so when we go inside, we're simply allowing ourselves to settle in, to sink into, to be the I am. It's healing, restorative, expansive. When our mind quiets, we go into that place of peace and quiet. The field of full potentiality. And then we can experience what we honor in a great being like Martin Luther King. We remember his beingness more than his actions, because it was the beingness that brought the love, peace, compassion into every bit of his actions. His beingness continues to flow in the same I am that you and I flow from. So allow your mind to settle, your body to rest, and that expansion awareness of the light of all, the I am. And taking a nice, easy in breath with a nice, long out breath. Recognizing that the pause is built into our breath. The place of stillness is right there in the pause in our thought, the pause of our breath, the pause we take before we take action. So that we function from that point of power, our I am power. And continue to slowly open your eyes, affirming your I am as we come together and join. And so it is. And we'll continue in that spirit as we have the opportunity to support our church with our finances and love. If you can say the prosperity blessing with me, please. Divine love flows from me as a spirit of generosity. I know that as I give generously, I enter the flow of abundance. Every good possibility comes into view as I swim in the stream of infinite good. I am the harmony of divine love, blessed and overflowing.
The sweetest honey to the brightest flower, the largest planet to the smallest atom, snowflakes in the bird kingdom, smaller than the eye can see, bigger than the mind can conceive. Heard a man on the radio today. I must confess, I disagreed with what he had to say. How can he not believe that God is real? I don't understand how he could feel that way when there's earth, air, and water, and fire. So many different flowers, sunshine and rain showers, so many different crystals, ant hills and volcanoes. That's how I know that God is real. 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 In St. Lucia, I jumped in the water. For the first time, I understood understood its power. As I swam, I was cleansed. If I had any doubts, this experience cleared them. Now I know for sure that God is real. I know that it's the truth by the way it feels. Oh, 'cause I saw starfish and sponges, fish shaped like trumpets, so many different colors. I stayed out there for hours and I only saw a fraction of the deepest of the deep of the great blue wide. Brought a tear to my eye. That's how I know that God is real.
This is not by chance.
That's how I know that God is real. That's how I know that God is real. That's how I know that God is real. We're made of the same stuff as the moon and stars. The ocean's salt water just like my tears are. Are you feeling me? The sun rises and sets every day without fail. That's how I know that God is real.
This is not by chance.
That's how I know that God is real.
By chance.
That's how I know that God is real. That's how I know that God is real. 'Cause there's earth, air, and water, and fire. Earth, air, water, and fire. Earth and air and water and fire. Earth, air, water, fire. That's how I know that God is real. Thank you.
Music and inclusivity. How beautiful. Thank you. And thank our ushers as excuse me, as they come forward. We want to bless our gifts. If we can say this together, please. We give thanks for the gifts that will support our mission of creating a spiritually awakened world. And so it is. And so it's time for our youth to come forward.
1, 2, 3. You are walking as the light, as the light, as the light. You are walking as the light of God. As the light, 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 as the light of God.
Sure. Juju, do you want to show them what you made today? Do you have your picture? Well, Juju made a very beautiful picture. We had a lot of energy. So, do you want to go get it? Go for it. Go get it, girl. Oh, I don't think it's all the way back there.
It's on Mommy's chair.
You got it. There you go. There you go. Yes. Woo! She absolutely went through all of these sticker books. So this was the last one. Yay! And that's it.
All right. Imagination and creativity at its best. Thank you so much. And so now I want to extend all of our thank yous. I want to say thank you to the prayer chaplains who are always here. They will be in front to pray with you afterwards, and they hold everything in confidence. Thank the AV team in the back for everything they are doing to bring our community in. Always a great thank you to our music team that always brings such delight. Thank you to Heather for sharing her White Stone experience and Valorie for our service. And there's so many things that happen beyond the scenes. We did have Caritas this week, so everyone that participated in Caritas, I want to say thank you. And Debbie Williams does a beautiful job of cleaning our facility. But a special shout out to Bernice, who is not only our AV team, but she has been really helping for many, many months to help keep our church clean. So thank you for that. And Jamie Posey is our new hospitality host. So we have someone who's supporting our hospitality on Sundays. Thank you, Jamie. And I encourage everyone to go out to the foyer, but also downstairs so that you can meet each other, talk with each other, and we can build community through our friendships. And now we will say our prayer for protection, but Valorie wants to say something.
I just want to say happy birthday, Barbara! Anybody else have a birthday today?
Yay. Thank you for being born, Barbara.
Amen.
So everyone go downstairs so you can celebrate with Barbara today. All right. And now we will do our prayer for protection and our peace song. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin